feet. All right, Sasquatch feet worshippers. I'll tell you what, the great thing about my new ultrasonic, subsonic, is subsonic faster than ultrasonic? Does anyone actually know who's going to have a punt at that? Don't Google it. Don't Google it. Well, you can if you want. I won't know. I can tell, though. You can tell when someone Googles something. Have you ever seen it? Someone sends you an email and some words or sentences are in a slightly different type, that in the speed that they wrote the email, they didn't quite realise. Like I got an email off a mate once, and he tried to make out such a sussing. He tried to make out, who was it, Flaubert or someone. He said something like, "Well, I think in the body of the email, he went, well, I think it was Flaubert who said something like so," and then it was slightly like maybe 12.5 point type as opposed to 12, where he just copy and pasted it. But then he'd even taken some bits out and added wrong words, so that it gave the impression he was like, "Oh, I think it was Flaubert who said one must not become what? Flaubert didn't say Varbert. One must not become what one is. One must become what one is becoming." And I thought, wow. I couldn't, it was too embarrassing to call him out on. Imagine I wrote back, "I don't want to be in those situations anymore in life." I used to make a habit of it, especially publicly. If I caught deception, I'd have it. But people can't cope with it. It can be really awkward, like real. I told you once about well, it's nice to see you all for a start. I am stream cucking Rags and 42, which is really bad. I think I might have to have a word with Rags and ask him just to ping me a telegram, tell me when he's streaming, because I do stream a lot, and him and 42 only do that thing once a week. So what are you going to do? But they've had about an hour, I think, so maybe it's not so bad. Nice one, Little Bullet. Nice to see you. Appreciate that as well. Nice one for the Lady Godiva. Much appreciated in these difficult times. So I'll put a video. I'll get back to my Flaubert. And what else was I going to tell you? Hang on. The flow. Oh yeah, the awkward things in social situations. Cheers, Bullet. That's great. So I made a video. As I said, I'll make videos. A couple of people got annoyed. Now, I want to ask you lot, because you're the oi polloi, you're in early, so you're scrubs, you know, it's in the blood. That Sargon video, I'm getting a bit, you know what, I might actually have to get one of those. I used to have one in England, one of those moustache combs, and get a bit of product, because I might actually have to start thinking about separating the beast. Do you know what I mean? Like opening it up and perchance a twirl. Not a twirl, but certainly dividing, you know, separating the Red Sea of my moustache. Like Moses. Like moustaches. It's a good start. So I watched the Lotus Eaters. That's how comes. So if you don't know, I made a video where Carl Benjamin, who once upon a time called himself Sargon of Akkad, and in fairness, I think he's a bit sick of that name and a bit embarrassed about that name, but that's what happens as we move through time. And I watched the Lotus Eaters because I like it. So that's how it comes. I saw that funny thing where they're talking about the Sam Hyde fight, which if you haven't seen it, it's worth if you like Sam Hyde, if you like fighting, it ain't going to be much, but if you like Sam Hyde, it's worth a watch. But I thought I'd done it in obvious good humour. You know, I wasn't trying to sort of attack them. A couple of people were like, nah, this ain't on. You know, this is just attacking someone else's hard work. Really? Was it? I just thought it was just laughs because old Patrick, Callum, I found out his name's Callum, so I learned something. You know, Callum's a good lad, but I think the only people that could see that as an attacking someone's hard work, is someone who thinks they don't make mistakes, because I make videos all the time, and you could get bits of my videos and go, look at Dangerfield here. You can see where he's forgotten what he's talking about, and he's wandering off down this thing, blah blah blah. And you can see him stumbling his words because blah blah. You know, you could do that because we do that as humans. We're imperfect. We make mistakes. And as someone said in the comments, you'd have thought, even if he didn't know anything about fighting, he might have done a bit of research, or at least said to Carl Benjamin of Rocky, right early on, said, look, I don't know anything about fighting, so you take it away. But it was weird. I thought it was weird. Only in the sense that we can all be weird. We can all get a bit awkward. I mean, fuck me. I sat here, but I think here or up there or in England, and told you about when I lied to the bloke in the shop that I had a kid because I was so desperate to get my 2 monitors working, and then told him I didn't have a kid, and then told him I did, and he said, you just told me you didn't. And all that, you know, I've admitted that because as humans, we do this. I don't, put it like this, I don't think Patrick suits him more, I think. It's Patrick. So who else? Someone else in the comments, someone said something about Callum, and someone said we call him Patrick. But I don't think Patrick watches that back and says, yeah, I've done a good job there. I think Patrick watches that back and says pretty much what I said. Maybe not the bit about his ball shrinking, but that's just sort of comedy hyperbole. I didn't think. I thought it was clearly in good humour. How would I know the channel? I watch it. I said I watch it, but you know, some people, you know. Hello, Hans. Nice to see you, son. The boy Cray, Snoopy. Look at that. Watched and got an alert. Loving the way YouTube's in my corner. I reckon they might be in my corner more. I'm going to put more videos out. Well, it's kind of over for me. It's officially Monday morning, but it's been a good weekend. It has been a good weekend. It goes so quickly, though. I mean, the nature of my job, I don't sort of have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning and, you know, to an alarm and go somewhere and have a set load of things to do. I could, in theory, take tomorrow off. I mean, I'd have to do that work again at another time. But it's still not the same way, because I know I should be working, especially in these fucking difficult times where businesses are just disappearing as corporations swallow them up, as communist governments fuck everyone's money. It's still not the same as a Saturday morning, is it? A Saturday morning, you wake up and you just suddenly remember, oh, hang on, it's Saturday. And I know that no one's going to send me emails or Slack messages. Can you got this? Do you know about this? Can you do this? What about this? Have you got this? Have we got this? You owe HMRC this much. Which can go on for me. It can be 16, 17 hours. Like I say, especially at the moment. So the weekend just seemed to fly by because, and this isn't moaning, because I enjoyed it. Because I enjoyed it. I made the most of it, you know. I actually had a laugh and done things that I don't necessarily do on the regs. So let's just have a look in the chat and see what people thought about all that. Oh, here we go. Every Sunday, bollocks, till 8:30. That's another 30 minutes, isn't it? Oh, they won't be happy, and that's understandable. Ragnar Ironside, not only my stream cucking him, I've got Denise Manise taking the rise. Charlie Sparkles, hello Toffee. Well, I did say I'd do one. Hello Old Oak, special K on acid. Vincent's on the firm. Get him on as a special guest. Come over here. Come and stream with me. Wait, they've got Chief Moody on. Is it Chef Moody or Chief Moody? Chef Moody or Chief Moody? Because he comes here, he's a scrub. But Honey Monster reckons it needs a little trim. Do you reckon? I quite like it. It's the most beard I've ever had. JP, I don't know. You know, it is a bit of a pain though, isn't it? It was weird, wasn't it, Steve, though? He looked really uncomfortable. But I think he looked uncomfortable not because he didn't know about fighting, but because he didn't know what to say. And obviously I styled it, made it out that he was thinking like he was the Wizard's apprentice and was thinking, but he did look fucking weird. He did look fucking weird. Hello, Doc Shelley. Good to see you. Jamarcus Trunk. Hello, Jamarcus. Are you new here? The name seems to ring a bell. If I had a pencil-thin moustache, oh no, I don't think. Sometimes my barber cuts mine right up to the lip, and it can border on like a pen. I don't know. There's something a bit. Yeah, see, yeah, see. There's something about that about a pencil moustache. See, and a really nasty Prince of Wales. I got a Prince of Wales check suit, but a nasty, overly, the checks are too big or something. Yeah, see, Lord knows where I've made that connection, but somewhere I've picked up the remnants of some cultural artifact of a bloke with a fucking nasty hat with a white ribbon round it, black hat, white ribbon, pencil moustache. Yeah, see. And maybe someone will say, "I know that film." Thank you, Snoopy. That was the intention. It wasn't meant to, wasn't meant to be aggressive. There you go. Sean, hello, Sean. It felt a little bit like that. There's only a couple of people, and they can have their opinions, and I'm talking about it. But I just thought, you think about those things. I like to. I don't read the comments just and answer them just for algorithm purposes. I like to engage with what people say, and I just thought it's only a bit of light-hearted jokes with it. I'm sure Patrick will be all right. I would put it that Patrick would watch that and probably have a laugh because he would be fully aware of it. Look at that. Liberty et Monsieur met Rocky the other day. No way. Amazing. Do you remember when Hugh was on his show? I remember Hugh telling me and Dan beforehand, he was going, I'm gonna really go for it. And he said once you get there, he's been doing it a while, old Sargs, hasn't he? Once you get there, he steers that conversation where he wants it to go, not where you want it to, not where you want to platform your ideas. But bless him, Hugh sent me and Dan a photo of him and Sargon. A selfie. Benjamin Selfie 1. Well, speaking of football, well, that's what I was saying about my internet. It's great having internet and watching Arsenal lose 3-1. 3-1. Yeah. Thank you, Tricky Woo. I think that certainly was the sniff coke. Is you really making that comment here? Who, when, why? People. Hello, Planet X. Nice one for that. For the grift, always a Prasha Kanatu, as you know. Thank you, mate. It absolutely was, wasn't it, Steve? But did you see that little weird shiver he done at one point? I don't really know what was going on. I wonder whether they had a little turnout before the video, and he said to Rocky, look, I don't know anything about fighting or anything. And Benjamin was like, you'll be fine. Just relax. And and he went, I don't know if this is me. He said, no, you'll be fine. He was like, well, if you want to, maybe he wanted to prove a point. Maybe I'll do another version of that video with a slightly, well, not slightly more, considerably more psychoanalytic reading of events and see if we can find out a little bit more. That's not happening, by the way. Dennis says that you can see your comment, Toffee. There you go. Oh, you saw the comment that you're the one that it was. Well, there was a few of them, so you know, I'm up for people not liking what I do, but you know, I would have I'd have respected the comment more if someone had said this was shit. You know, how unfunny. Because okay, all right, not your cup of tea, but you know, to suggest I was tearing down their hard work, you know, the bit where I said, and anyway, let me go back to something I was telling you ages ago, years ago. Hang on, let's see if I can remember. No, it's absolutely gone. Fast internet. No, it might come back. It usually does when I stop thinking about it. Hello, Special K. I said, hello, Brad. Well, Brad, you right. So I think Brad, I don't think you saw the stream yesterday, mate. But I name checked you. It was you that wrote to me and mentioned teaching work, wasn't it? It was you that mentioned it and mentioned a bit of teaching work. So I had that in my head, and then I had a couple of young Cambodian lads sorting out my internet around here, and they were telling me about YouTube and being Cambodian, you're not allowed to. And a very generous flurry of donations. This is great stuff. Might get more than the intended 22-second stream. So I had that in my head, Brad. So when I made that video, I honestly intended to say, hello, people. Sorry I haven't been streaming a lot. Work's been crazy. I've been off the internet. I haven't had the internet, blah, blah, blah. I'll be back. Normal service will resume. And I intend to make more standalone videos again. But as I started doing it, because I'm a cheeky little bastard, those things were in my head, and it turned out to be a wind-up video. Brad, did you read some of the comments of people who clearly didn't make it to the end and were like, good luck with your teaching job? I knew once someone said I knew you'd end up teaching. Oh, really? Fantastic. But thank you, Brad. Though it was a fair idea. Something I probably could do, but I really wouldn't want to. That would be a real last resort. I've got a real thing about having to be somewhere at a certain time on someone else's meter as well. Hello, Chris. Can you come in at 8 tomorrow? No. So there you go. Snoopy says that Sargon gets on his nerves sometimes. I've got no personal issue with him. The dude can do what he likes, and his ego can be deflated about any lasting harm. Yeah, I think he's got loads of people into thinking critically about what's going on in the world, and that's undoubtedly a net positive. And I mean a load of people. You know, I'd say hundreds of thousands. I don't think I've seen a Sargon video. Does he even still make standalone videos? Serious question. Well, not serious, but just a question. Or is it just the Lotus Eaters now? Because I do watch those. Dennis can't deal with his smug voice. Funny you say that, Dennis. He hasn't actually got a smug voice, but there's a particular tone. It's almost like the timbre of his voice. It's that slight nasal. Because I hooked up when I first was getting red pilled through Sargon. You know, this is way back, sort of 2015. God, 7 years ago, all that was. I hooked up with an old feminist from art school, and I thought I'll put her onto some Sargon videos because he'd done that whole series on why feminism is not that great. And I thought, yeah, I'll say to her, this is encouraging. This is encouraging. I'll have to stream cut Rags and 42 a bit more often. And she got back to me, and the first thing she said, it's not what he's saying. She said, I just can't handle that voice. And I sort of knew what she meant. Vartington, is that you? Come back, Moniton, of course. yeah, so other people have said that, and it is there without a doubt. It is there, but I don't. Does he still make his own videos? Picard, all your vids are good except the content delivery, etc. There you go. Format, not so cool. Hello, Brian. Good to see you, son. Nice to see you, mate. Nice weekend. I know. I saw you over there because I went over there. And I thought, if they've only got like 20 people watching, I won't feel so bad. And they had 42. I was the 42nd. I thought that was quite interesting that I was the 42nd viewer of their stream. I even took a screen grab of it. I thought I might have stream capture, but check it. This will make up for all of it. Look. Hang on. Oh, what's going on here? Look. When I turned up, Rags and 42 watching now. Oh, was he not watching for the rest of his own video? That doesn't count as comedy jokes or nothing. Comedy jokes or nothing. Yeah, Salty Cracker's great stuff, isn't he? Now, did anyone answer? Is it Chef Moody or Chief Moody? Surely it's Chief Moody, right? Because I'm sure that when I found it, it had Rags and 42 with guest Chef Moody, or maybe it's an Apocalypse Now reference that I've just missed. Who knows? It is Chief. I thought so. Bless Rags calling him Chef Moody. I thought so. Right. I've actually got something for you that I racked up a while back, but oh no, I don't want to open up OBS. That'll cause all sorts of problemations. I've still got that. Hang on, people. This is going all right. Why have I still got my editing software open? That's going to be putting a drain on my computer processing power. Oh, don't shut the 3 links I've got. I think we're all right. It would appear I haven't still got that open. I was completely wrong. Hello, Vincent. Good to see you, son. Who else is on the firm? Hello, Mouse Cat. Skin and Tonic's in. Hello, son. Check over there on the entropy. Oh, my God. Kim Larson's here. Hello, Pizzle. You're confusing Chief Moody and Moody Edge. You're absolutely right. I am. Yeah. yeah. Chief Moody don't come here, does he? Thank you. I'm glad someone knows what the fuck's going on. Rags is here, is he? Someone said, no offense, Rags. Oh, God, I can't believe I've got to apologise to someone who doesn't mean nothing but good terms. Little Bullet, nice one. You know, if something actually does go tits up, nobody will believe you. You do know if something actually goes tits up, nobody will believe you. Let me try and work that out. Oh, I get it. Yeah, I've cried wolf. Sorry, I've cried wolf. So if I was to make a video one day and go, now listen, and people are going to go, no. And even if I don't say in the video, they'll think that's the next level, waiting for the next video. Yep, I fucked it up. I fucked up the ability to actually say something serious to you all. Hello, Flammadiddler. Hello, Chris. David Brooks. Hello. He does your live stream from time to time. Oh, Chief Moody or Chef Chris? You know what I mean, though, Denise Moniz, about Sagan. Snoopy only watches his 40k stuff. What, Sargon does videos about painting Space Marines? Bless him. I was joking about the old Dungeons and Dragons, but, you know, you can kind of guess. Oh, without a doubt, without too much red wine and pate. This is the thing. I know I watched the Lotus Eaters to see that thing is because I was watching them, and I like it. I like the content. Mashed potato, liked Sargon until I realised I was fashy. Just scared of it for obvious reasons that I knew instinctually. It's quite interesting. Nice one, no cap Popeye for the grift. Hoyt, nice one. Chuck it in the bag. We'll spin them around in the air. Nice one for that one, Little Bullet, as well. There's a couple more I've got to catch up with. Hello, Albert. Nice to see you, son. Yeah, there you go, Brad. I don't know if you probably said that before I said it. Yeah. He's got a bit of that upwards inflection that is just repellent in anyone. Only a really hot Australian bird. What? Get your ass in here now. Only a really hot Australian bird can get away with that because she can get away with anything. Hello, Carl. Carl, I've seen you sent me an email, but my emails are stacked, so I haven't replied, but I will do. And anyone else who's written me an email, I do reply to them all, but just with 2 words. Hello, John. John Fuse is on the phone. What an absolute pleasure. Alan, right, let's clear this up. You told me you got it earlier, didn't you? You told me you got it earlier, but I still don't understand, because you congratulated me and said good luck with your job. But did you leave that comment while the video was playing? You thought, oh no, fair play, well done, good luck with the new job, and then saw it end and think, you bastard. Visionary Companion says, does anyone in here like the Matt Berry series Toast of London? I love it. I absolutely love it, because I absolutely love Matt Berry. I think he's a legitimately eccentric character, and when Hugh described me as an actual English eccentric, I took that as one of the finest compliments of my life. Because when I first bunked school and went up to Soho, one of the things that got me about it was there were loads of eccentrics around. And that's a real English tradition. And you can't contrive it. And you get people who try to, and, I'm strange. I'm bizarre. I'm peculiar, aren't I? And it's like, no, no. But Matt Berry's legitimately odd. Have you checked out his music? And I'll put this question out to all of you. I'll play a bit. Say and search. Is his music a joke? Or is he is he a musician as well as a comedian? Serious question. I'll play you a bit. I think he's got one called Opium. Yeah, I'm sorry, but I know what I like, and I like what I know. Getting better. Matt Berry, Opium. Now, there's no jokes in the song. That's the missus. I'll mute myself. Sorry, people. Hi, sorry. Why is it doing that red thing again? Right, so Matt Berry, I will get back to Toast of London because there's something to say about that, and I might be able to dig it up and show it to you. And I think I made a video about it, or maybe a stream. But let's play a little bit of Matt Berry's Opium. I'm sure there was a video of it. Is this his actual video? No, it's a collage someone made. Damn. Well, let's try and find another one of his songs because I saw one with an actual video. Blackberry music video, and there's no jokes, but it is really rubbish. Is this? Yeah, this is Matt Berry's new album, The Small Hours, is available here, and this is his official channel with not even 2,000 subscribers. Have a look at this, people, and tell me what you think about Matt Berry. VC, remind me to get back to Toast of London. But I really rate Matt Berry. But this is strange. I'm not going to put my headphones in tonight, so I'll just mute myself. Hang on. Tell me what you think this is meant to be. I am knocking it. It's not my cup of tea, but it's very strange. Here we go.
Myself alone. You and me were great, but it's over under sea.
But that's it. There's it's not comedy. No, there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine. But it's a bit strange, isn't it? It's a bit strange. Right. Let me see what you think about that and the other 50 questions I've been putting out there and answering. Picard says, Chris Dangerfield, Packer did well. He got me 2 bottles of raspberry vodka and a charm to go on my bracelet. He got a charm bracelet. My mother's got one of them. My old man bought it for her when they were very young. Gold. And every birthday, he bought Vartington. Every birthday, he bought her another little charm for it. And they were always something symbolic, like a watering can. I won't go into the story of that. Like a little tiny gold watering can. And some of the charms that go on it are wicked. They've got like moving parts and things. I pawned that. This is a dark, dark story. I will get back to you. I know it's not all about me, but it is. So I pawned my mother's charm bracelet to cash converters for smack, right? And because I only got about 40 quid for it. I mean, the gold value alone is probably at the time more like 150, but the sentimental value, it had about 30 charms on it. It's a proper weighty gypsy thing. But every birthday present my dead father bought for my mum is on that charm bracelet, and she keeps it well locked and stashed up. And I took it to fucking cash converters of all places, and because I got about 40 quid, I got 2 and 2. I thought I'd get some crack as well. Once I'd done that money in, which took about 15 minutes, I remember sitting there in my bedroom with my mother downstairs thinking, wow, what an arsehole. What an arsehole. And then I was thinking, what if I don't get that money back to get that out? Because there's been plenty of there's plenty of times in that addict lifestyle where you fail to get money in on time. And if I wake up on the day I've got to pay for that and I'm rattling, am I going to spend that money on the charm bracelet, or am I going to go and score, convincing myself, well, at least if I get some gear in, I'll be able to go and do some grafting and get paid for it, and and fuck it all up, and have to say to my mother, who's giving me, while she knows I'm using, a roof over my head, sometimes money to score, food, and mothering me basically as a fucking adult. And then about 2 days later, one of my colleagues come round. He wanted to go and score. And he said to me, he went, "Oh, have you heard?" And I went, "Who's died?" And he went, "Nah." He went, "Cash converters got robbed." And I was just like, and I just thought, what is the chances of that? And immediately I didn't pass the blame. How was I to know cash converters was going to get robbed? I just thought, that's your fault. That's your fault that you've got to look your mother in the eyes. And I knew that she'd know the minute I said to her, your charm bracelet. As soon as I said that to her, she'd know that was gone. And I remember I nearly fainted. I was gasping for air. Now, I can't remember whether it didn't get it. I got it back. Calm down. I got it back from cash converters, but I can't remember now the actual details. I should have written this up as a Substack, because there's loads of weird shit that happens in between. I suppose I still can. Excuse me. Substack, you say? What's that? I'm a writer. Link in the description. 20 short stories already there. Going very well. Put your email in. You'll get all the new ones. Another teaser for my novel coming out soon. I can't remember whether it did get robbed, but they didn't get it, or whether it turned out it was the cash converters in Crayford and not the main one in Dartford. But I tell you what, when I found out, I'd done everything I could to get that money and go and get it out of there, because I just thought, you can't plan for. Think, why is it doing that? I'm not enjoying that, and if I'm not, you're probably not. Let me just sort out that flickering luck. Logicam, webcam software, webcam controller, webcam options, autofocus, advanced settings, white balance off. Have I gone blue? Hang on. What the hell? Why does it really need to open 3 windows just to make no difference? I don't even know where I am now. I've got a funny feeling you might not be able to see me. Have I just turned this off? Have I just ended the stream? I think I have. I think I've gone. Can you still see me? Can someone donate something? I'm not even joking. I think I've gone, haven't I? I don't think you can see me. Oh, hang on. Hello. I wasn't joking then at all. I thought we're all right. Is it still flickering? I think it's the auto white balance that the globalists don't know much about. So there you go. So let's hope the youngster doesn't nick it one day. No, he did do well. Maybe we'll get to see you in your charm bracelet one day, Mrs. Packer, and nothing else. That would be great. Dirty little jokes. No, well done, Packer. Good work. He done well there, but the charm bracelet, like my mum done herself up because she started collecting hedgehogs when I was about 5 years old, and she's got a table in her front room, and no word of a lie, it's got about 300 hedgehogs on it. Every Christmas, every birthday, every Mother's Day, every anything, everyone knows what to buy my mum. Oh, she collects hedgehogs. But it's got to the point where she's got duplicates, because there's only so many crappy little £3.50 hedgehogs you can buy someone. Ruined their life. I'm not even joking. It ruined their life. She made herself giftless because she's just got, and they're right dust collectors. And I'm going to tell you something that I've been battling with for some time. Battling's an exaggeration, but I will deal with all those generous donations. But let me ramble because that's what I'm here for. There was a couple of old people lived down my road. They were weird, Millie and Percy, right? Millie and Percy. And they weren't married. It was a funny little setup, but they were really old. Like, you know, they were so old, but they'd also worked all their lives. Like, you know, they were so old. She was probably in the workhouse or something, and he was probably like a coal miner. Or, you know, they were just from another era. Flat caps, you know, hello, Chrissy, with a roll up stuck to his top lip. But he was a painter, right? He'd paint in oils on big board in the garden. But he was quite rubbish. And I'm sorry about that, but they weren't great. They were quite bad. And he had this little sort of outdoor, like my mum's house is in the middle of a terrace, and the house and the garden is 13 foot wide, but the garden is 100 foot long. But of course, you can see everyone else's garden when you do the old garden hopping. Remember when you jump over everyone's fences? It's fucking brilliant. But he had this sort of open air studio in Millie and Percy's garden. It was her house. I think Percy might have just been a friend of hers. And just when her husband died, she just moved him in for the company. You know, I remember when they'd send me up the shop to buy a pack of B&H and give me 2p for the privilege. And it was all good. Imagine sending a 7-year-old up the shop to buy snouts. There you are, there's your 2p. And you'll be like, yeah, that's 6 mojos. Let's go. Or 2 fruit salads. But when Percy died, he was about 300 years old. And Millie didn't last much longer. She was about 304 years old. And when they were both dead, the kids or nephews or look, you know, no one knew anything about them. Like we'd all been, you know, my next door neighbour, Mrs. Morris, she lived next door to me all my life until she died at like 83. Nella and Joe next to that, then Millie and Percy, Candy and Mick, Vimmel's crowd. Then you got the Francis family, the Gypsies, then the Downings. I could tell you my whole street, the names. And I'll tell you what I can, because that's also my mnemonic memory. That's how I can remember lists of hundreds of things, because I use the houses and the people who lived in them to tag things on. Anyway, when Millie died, about 3 days after she died, a skip arrived, and the house, what they call them, house clearance people turned up. Just went in there. Everything just got skipped. Loads of, I'm sorry to say it, but crappy brown, what I call brown student furniture. I mean, anyone who was a student 30, 40 years ago will remember it. You know, it's got no real value. It looks horrible. It's heavy. It's crap. And it was all just thrown in this skip. Then the skip was taken. Then all their clothes, and that skip was taken. Then all his paintings, and that was taken. And I can remember me, my mum, my dad, Mrs. Morris, Alice and Les, and Graham Mahoney, all in my front garden. And they were all sitting there having a beer, looked like some summer Saturday afternoon. And someone said, look at that, just throwing it all out. That was their life. And they just want to get their hands on that house. Right? And I remember it really hurt me, really made me feel sad. And the way everyone was sort of looking at them thinking, you know, no. And someone said, you know, all Percy's paintings, he loved his paintings. But the truth of the matter is, well, I love my mother. She's my mother. But at some point, she will die. And are me and my brother actually going to go through everything she's built up in the house over the last 40 odd years she's been there. Hang on, I'll tell you how long she's been there. 58 years. Are we going to go through it all? Am I going to want that nest of tables that aren't that nice anyway? There's a weird sort of thing my dad and his mate cut in half. it's like this sort of, it's like a display unit, right? A big round wooden display unit with glass panels in it, and you put all your nice things in it. But they both bought it. They went halves on it, but because they couldn't sell it, which was the plan, they cut it in half and put a board on the back of each half. So now we've got like this semi-display cabinet. But in it, you know, I imagine the idea was you'd put beautiful things in there. But in my mum's one, we've got things like my granddad's pewter snooker cups that are about that big, that have got a sentimental value of about nil, and a cash value of less than that. And me and my brother, and I am being deliberately harsh here because I want you to consider this yourself. Are we really going to go through all that stuff one by one and like, oh, put that on eBay, you know, take that to a charity shop, or do this, or what about that? What about this? You know, what about all that? You know, my dad painted in oils, but they're not my cup of tea. They're not. And you know, if you're regs round here, you'll know that my dad was my hero, but I'm not such a fan of his oil paintings. Weirdly, he painted women with fish on their backs. I'm not even joking. Like sexy women, sensual women. It was so weird. But they're all holding fish. You know, like in the 80s, like photography magazine, it'd have a woman on the cover. Let me see if I can find one, because I might even be able to find the actual one. This is going to give me an heart attack. She's underneath the window. She's saying, "Hey, la, my boyfriend's back." Right, hang on. Practical Photography magazine. Woman with fish. I know it's a long shot, but wow, wouldn't it be something? So, just in case you don't know, I found some of what I mean. Not so far, not the exact one, but in the 80s, if you were a married man and you were, you know, wanting, if your sensual eye was strained somewhat, you'd have to sublimate it somehow without cheating on your missus. So you'd get into photography, and that way, my old man had so many photography magazines, and a hardback book called Glamour Photography, cover to cover. Maria Whittaker, what's her name? The bird from Emmerdale. It was all 80s pin-ups. I'll tell you what, those pages are like that. But I've just found the sort of thing. Oh yeah, I found a couple. This is weird. I'm so glad I'm sharing this with you. But these are the sort of thing. I'm just now suddenly thinking that they might now be so surreal. They've achieved a new value for me. You know, I'll put them up round here, and people say, "What the fuck is that?" And I'll go, "That's one of my old man's pictures. It's a comment on the postmodern work of art in the age of mechanical reproduction, and the father." I have found a few, and they're exactly what I said. So my old man would sit there painting copies of these pictures. I will get back to what I'm talking about, but I'm just going to show you some. Now, these are a little bit more modern, but these are the sorts of things that he done oil painting copies of. And in terms of their technique, they're great. They looked like photos because, I mean, I'm not interested in that because you've got a photo of it. Why do you need to paint it? But, you know, he had his reasons. And he'd sit in the front room with his easel painting things like that. And it was only about 2 years after my old man died that my mum finally took them all down. Look, there's another one. Yeah, look at this one. I mean, these ain't 80s for sure, but they're not far off. I mean, there you go. Sexy woman there with a squid hand. Yeah, there you go. So the Martin, I haven't. I'll go back through a load. I've missed a few, mate. So I have, yes, but I will go back and catch up with them. So before, what have I done now? What's going on, man? Just calm down, Dange. You're going to be all right, son. Everything's all right. So the question is, and I put this to you: are me and my brother going to go through all that stuff? Which it's only a small house, but it's like I said, nearly 60 odd years of clutter, and divide it up or sell it or take it to charity shops. Or, like Millie and Percy, are we just going to get an house clearance company and say, empty that house? Because we're going to want to sell it. I always said to my mother I'd keep that house. That was the house I grew up in. But Dartford's being swallowed up by London. And what everyone's telling me that it's changed quite a lot since I left, and it will continue to change that way. And I don't want to have anything to do with that. And I know real estate is a good investment and all that, but I reckon empty it, invest some money to get it done up a bit, and then sell it. And do the same as what those people done to Millie and Percy's house. And it sounds really brutal. It sounds really uncaring, but it's kind of reality as well. You know, do you really need to? You know, it's almost more insulting to pretend, isn't it? Isn't it more insulting to go through everything? Oh, I mean, look, I will grab my mum and dad's wedding album. I will grab that. I will grab my mother's stamp collection, monetary value, because I doubt it is actually, but I'll probably give that to some stamp collecting eBay. But I can't think of a lot of things, you know, and it does sound brutal and harsh, but it's, you know, you know how much I thought about my dad, and you know, and that's my mum, and that's the real bond, that they were my parents and they brought me up, not things, not clutter. You know, I fucking hate clutter. When there's 4 of you living in an house that big, you know, every house I've ever had is proper minimalist. This place is minimalist. You know, there's not stuff here. You'd come in, when I tidy up, you'd come in here and think no one lived here except for the washing up that hasn't been done for about 4 days. Maggots in the bottom by now. So, yeah, I'd like to, Charlie knows what I mean. Let's see what you're saying, unless she was talking about something else. Special cases, smoke weed every day. We've got a couple of people on here today. Someone said sniff coke. Someone said smoke weed every day. It's funny you say smoke weed every day, because today I got on Telegram. I went on Telegram. They sent me the menu. I went beep, 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 beep. And then a motorbike arrived. They sent me a link. I clicked on the link. It showed me where the motorbike was. The motorbike turned up out there. They sent me a grinder, free grinder. And that, whatever that could be. And, you know, I'd feel weird getting back to England and not being able to do that. I said it to a mate. He said, fuck off. He said, I've just moved down to Devon. He said, it's a joke. He said, it's like, I've got to get a train to London to pick up a quarter. That would last me a fucking year, son. Thank you, what's the name? That's good to know. Martin! Towards the tash trim to make you look more like, don't say that. You know about what happened to Toller. They it won't be. It'll be more like a French writer. But they've absolutely torn Toller apart, haven't they? But he did talk about those things. Thank you, Martin, for the donation. I know you're only joking as well. But if you give these people, I don't say things. I don't hate anyone. I lost followers for saying that. I don't hate anyone. I don't hate any minority groups either. That's not the problem. Hate is such a waste of energy. But he said some awful things on his channel. He said some things that would get you banned off anywhere, not just YouTube. You're not allowed to say things like that because that's why we didn't do our show together, the three of us. But I tell you what, when I saw the photos of, I didn't know what Toller looked like. When I saw the photos of him, my first thought was, is he British? Is he English? He looks Greek. But he must be having a fucking nightmare because they're tearing him apart. Like Horace told me there's podcasts here, there's podcasts there. I saw the Times one where they've interviewed. It's the same bloke that got rid of Dan's channel. It's very, very strange. Hello, Kim. Nice to see you. Have you slept with all races? If so, any favourites? Well, I've slept with, it's a weird one, isn't it, race? I've slept with a lot of women. Without doubt, Southeast Asian women. I really like them. It's kind of weird, though, because I also like a good bottle blonde European bimbo. It's, I like a false, fake boobed bottle blonde bimbo, but I'll also take a naturally black, straight haired Southeast Asian lady. But having a type is ridiculous. It's something we think we've got. But I've had the most incredible sex with someone that I didn't even think I wanted to fuck at the start of the evening. So, I think having a type is more to do with your identity and communicating your identity to people, which is what we do as humans. That's what polite conversation essentially is. Oh, I like this. I like cod. I like fruit pastels. I don't like the orange ones. What's your type of woman? But it limits you. It limits you. If you've got a buffet, don't go up to it and say, "Oh, I love crab sticks. I'm going to eat them." Try the buffet, because you might find you like loads of stuff on there. And if you like more things, there's more things to like. Yay! I'm like a Buddha. I mean, you can use that. You can feel free to pass this wisdom on. If you like more things, there's more things to like. I jest, but it makes so much sense. Good call though, Kim. If it wasn't for you giving me a little kick up the wisdom zero, I wouldn't have come out with a platitude uno. Okay. Thanks for the donation there, Kim. Thank you as well, Marsh. Who else have we got? Oh, come on. Come on. No, come on. You got to think a little bit out of the box. Mashed Potato says that Sargon gets on his nerves constantly. Would you not say Sargon gets constantly on my nerves? On my nerves constantly. That seems to mean something different when I first read that. The beauty of writing, eh? Mousecat says, I'm on 2 streams. Did you know it's illegal in Cambodia to use a water pistol on New Year's Day? Oh, bollocks. What am I going to do? This could be Choloks, though. I haven't heard Choloks forever. I don't know if I've ever read Choloks before. But nice one, Mousecat. Your missus sent me a picture of some newspaper cuttings talking about Cambodian, well, Khmer food. And she said, oh, my mouth's watering now. No, that's marketing. The Cambodian food it's difficult. It's one when people say, what's it like out there? In Thailand, people think, oh, I love Thai food. I love Thai food. Thai food, you haven't had. To get Thai food, you've either got to go to Isan or you've got to buy it off of the stalls that go to all the massage parlors. That's where they because they know that's where all the Isan girls work. It's like a little mini economy. And you won't eat it. You might, but you won't be like, oh, this looks lovely. Let's do It's unbearably hot most of the time. I mean, and when you first go, you're like, God, how do you Thai girls deal with all that chili? And they're like, oh, we've been eating it since we were 2. No, they've always got stomach problems. Same with Cambodian girls. They're always because they eat too much fucking red hot chili. But what most Westerners call Thai food is just an anglicized version. Just put some rice in it, bit of coconut, bit of pineapple, and you don't get anything like that out here. You get Western food or Cambodian food. Like, my palate has adjusted over the years. My girlfriend makes me this sour soup. Like most Asian countries have their variation of a hot and sour soup. And, like there's 4 limes in it, cooked in it, 4 limes, like, and it's made of cabbage. Now, remember, this country has only recently come out of a war, so there's also reasons for the change in their traditional foods. But cabbage, what else is in it? It's almost like a marrow, which is always nice in soup. So much onion that you just like, do you mind if I take half? Do you mind if I take 5/6 of this onion out? And that's sort of it. And they eat their rice with their hands. They pick it out, they roll it into a ball, and they eat it. And there's a big pile of it, and they're all just digging their hands in. And you're thinking, did anyone wash their hands? No. Yeah, here we go. But I've never had food poisoning out here, ever, or Thailand. I mean, I might have done and thought it was something else, but as far as I know, I haven't. In Thailand, last time I looked, and it was a long time ago, someone might have told me actually, but something like 200 people die every year in Thailand from food poisoning, foreigners, and it's because they get so sick they can't get out of their hotel room to tell anyone they're dying, and in that heat, 3 or 4 days without water, you just die. So yeah, nice holiday. Right, where are we? I've got that one. Thank you, No Cat Popeye. Good to see you. I got Bullet's one. Thank you again, Bullet. It's incredible how much you talk. It is amazing. I love it, and I really do. What a gang we've got. Right, got Alan's one. I asked Alan a question, didn't I? We'll have to get back to Matt Berry. I'll show you a little bit of Matt Berry that I thought was amazing. I think I told you the story before, though, but that doesn't change anything. Chris! I didn't like that Garth Marenghi's thing. I maybe it just wasn't for me, but I didn't. It just didn't press my buttons at all. Yeah, Garth Marenghi's. He was like a faux director or something, a faux horror writer or director or something, wasn't he? Yeah, it wasn't my cup of chai at all. But I do like Matt Berry. I'll show you something of his. I'll tell you, there's a little story that goes with it. But is his music a joke, VC, or is it just his music? I'm not saying it has to be a joke. There you go. Hang on. You still haven't cleared it up, Alan. So you wrote it after you got the joke, or you wrote it and then after you got the joke? It doesn't matter, does it? Thank you, Alan. Thank you. As long as you know I'm not going anywhere, that's the main thing. Nice one for the Donasciati. That bit of bud that I definitely didn't order via Telegram today is Super Lemon Haze, and it actually smells like Jif Lemon. Ridiculous. You've got to remember that I come from a land down under. It had to go there. I come from a time when you bought weed, it honestly looked like oregano with a couple of sticks and a few seeds as well. And if you planted those seeds, you got a 15-foot sativa plant with leaves the size of your hands that never flowered. Hello, October. So, you know, when you've actually got like these hybrids with, oh, hang on, mute for a burp. Oh, that caught me out. When you've got these hybrids, what did you think was St. Harrison? Rags is only just finishing. Hello, Raymond. Good to see you, mate. Damn, I don't know when. I don't know. Oh, you're talking about Matt Berry's music. I've just realised how far behind I am. Kim Larson, thanks for the 20 nog. Why does Scientology hate psychology? Well, I didn't know they did, but I'll have a guess, because Scientology likes to answer everything, doesn't it? It even treats addicts, and it does. You go clear, don't you? They talk because it's competition for it. Scientology is essentially a psychology. It's a study of the mind. You know, that's what going clear is, when you've been fully analysed and you've got all the mess out your head. So they probably just see it as a competition. I mean, you know, I don't want to say too much about Scientology because you get yourself in all sorts of trouble. No, no, mate, it was dark. It was absolute darkness. That was set up, Michael. Absolutely set up. Right. Hello, Willie Fisterbottom. Good to see you. Always a pleasure. Hello, IR. IR's on the firm. Hello, Mad Lizzie. Oh, my son's. Right, let's try it. Right, I've got to work out what OH is. My other half. There you go. It's not you, it's me. My other half sold my son's gold baby bracelet. Had me looking for it for free. Ouch, ouch. Lizzie, you probably know the joke. There's a joke that goes around our previous circles. What's the difference between a smackhead and a crackhead? They'll both nick your wallet, but the smackhead will help you look for it afterwards. And when one of my psychotic girlfriends stole my passport the day before I was fucking off to Thailand to get the hell away from her and go and see the woman I actually loved, I knew she had it, and I rung her up, and I had to play it, because unless I could get her to confess, and I had a plan. I think I've told you before. But I said, oi, someone's robbed my flat. They've nicked my passport. I knew it was her. Right? Because she was mental. She'd already nicked my credit card, like debit card, a few weeks before. And I knew that was her as well. But I knew that unless I played this phone call right, I wasn't going to Thailand, and I was going to lose out on all the preparation, probably the flights, the hotel, everything. And going out to Thailand to get clean and see the woman I love. And I was going to her, no, I've looked everywhere. She was going, right, let's do this. Let's plan this. Have you gone through all your suit pockets? And honestly, I was having to just go, like, move the phone away and go, was going, no, I've done all that. She went, right, what about the drawers? What about your kitchen drawers? What about your stash places? Have you put it in any of your... And I was just thinking, you'll have me doing this all night, wouldn't you? And then I went, listen, you don't have... And this was my plan, and it worked. I went, listen, you don't have to worry about all that. I said, the corridors are all cameraed up. Left that pregnant pools floating in the air for her to cope with. I said, the corridors are all cameraed up, so I'll just go down to Westminster Cop Shop. Don't even know where that is or if there is one. But she didn't know that. And I said, I'll go down there and they'll just show me the footage. And I said, I think it's, I can't remember the kid's name. He's dead now, poor bloke. Oh, what's his fucking name? Anyway, I said Leon, I think it is. I said, I think Leon. It was probably Leon. I said, but as soon as the police show me the tapes, I'll be able to identify who it was. And then I just left it. And then she went, don't go down there. I said, no, fucking right, I'm not going down there. I said, you've got 30 minutes to get a taxi into Soho or I'll have you arrested tonight. I said, you fucking idiot. And just hung up. And she did. She came back. She gave me the passport and she went, do you want to go for a cup of tea or something? I went, I will actually, yeah. Yeah. I just thought, you're off your head. Like, as if nothing. As if, oh, well, the game's up. It's a fair cop, Gov. And I just sat down. I thought, why did you think why did you do that? What a witch. Hello, Shepherd. Alan, trust me, I know how you felt, mate. What one? I don't know what one we're on now. I'm so far behind. I don't know. Trust me, I know how you felt. I'm trying to think what. Oh, I bet you it's the stealing my mother's. I bet it's stealing my mother's charm bracelet, isn't it? Hello, Emma. I'm sorry about stream cucking 42. Mr. Cray has pointed out, as Rags has told me before, it's 7 o'clock every Sunday. Yeah, pass that on to him. But also tell him that I've got a screen grab that I was the 42nd person to come along. So it says 42 people watching Rags and 42, which obviously doesn't make up for it at all. Paxmax, Substack, sounds expensive, all that monetization. There's no monetization on my Substack. Paxmax is totally free. Those incredible works of contemporary literature are all absolutely gratis. Hang on, what's that while you're on the screen? Paxmax, 25 euros. Paxmax, 25 euros. Paxmax. He says this, have me natural gas eating money. Putin stopped all the... What? Putin stopped all gas. I mean, what's the point to have nat gas money when there won't be any gas to buy this winter? That's logic. Maybe we'll get better eating money later. Well, at least Ukrainian is getting another 200 mil euros from the... Oh, was it meant to be German? I thought it was meant to be like London. I don't know how to say German. Thank you, Paxmax. I've done my best. I've done my best. Thanks for the generous donation. Can you explain to me what was it meant to be German? Because you do say I think it's meant to be a combination of many voices. Imagine. Cheers, Paxmax. Nice one, Raymond. You'll be able to fool the charm with this. Out here, maybe. The Cambodians buy gold as well as an investment, and they buy gold plate as an investment. It's not an investment. You can't tell them, though. They just go, listen, Cambodian culture different to yours. I'm like, yeah, but you've just spunked all that money on nothing. How do you sell gold plate? You can't weigh it. How do you know how thick the plating is? It's just ridiculous watching your girlfriend's very poor family spending their 2 years' savings on a bit of gold-plated jewelry. I'm like, if you're going to buy gold, get a lump of it. Just get a $5,000 bit of it or something. Get it from England where it's 99.999, not Cambodian 74. It's orange. It's orange. It's like, what is this? And when I've gone down, okay, that's cleared it up. Yeah, but in England, we do say Sherman the German. It is a thing we say. That's what threw me, Pax Max. The gold. It's just a shame, and they won't be told. Thank you, Pax Max, for that donation. Thank you, Raymond. Thank you, Mrs. Me in it. Here we go. If I thought Pax Max was hard, let's see if I can get through this. Twaddle. Do you only notice me when I do a big vart, just like my husband? I'll tell you when I notice you, when you post a photo of you driving a very little motorbike. I was gutted that you it was a prize for the village fete or something. I thought you'd got, like, because I want to get a monkey bike and I'm going to look a bit like that on my monkey bike. And I thought, look how cool Mrs. Me in it is. She's got herself one of those. All the travellers, well, not all of them, because that would be like some kind of motorbike race. That would be like a Hunter S. Thompson, Fear and Loathing in Abbey Wood. But some of the travellers out in Abbey Wood, they used to deliver their goods on those tiny little motorbikes. You know, the ones where your knees are up around your elbows. And they'd be burning around the estates on these tiny little motorbikes. Like, I can't sort of do it. Yeah. I'm not going to risk showing you my perennium, is it? Or is that a plant? No, I notice everyone in the chat, but sometimes I'm on a rant and I miss things that they say, but I know who's here. I know what's going on. It's all Icarus. Right, here we go. Here's where the trouble starts. Let's I don't like falling out of a man who's got Kalashnikovs under the floorboard. Dangerfield, that is a class screen grab. It's all good because you stopped last night when my stream started. Nothing to worry about. It is a bit shitty of me, though. I obviously wasn't deliberate. And Steve, the boy Cray, Rags has told me before, but I forget what the time differences is. And I thought 2 o'clock in the morning, no one's going to be streaming. And I forget that that's 7 o'clock yours. But what? How did you see that screen grab already? Are you watching this from the start? Yeah, it was wicked because I got there and I thought, oh no, don't tell me they're streaming now, because I saw the thing on Rags's. Rags sent it to me, and I'd already set my stream up and sent out all the links. And when I arrived there, it changed. It went from 41 to 42, and it said Rags and 42 people watching. I went quick, and I hit that print screen. And I thought maybe you'd been going for a couple of hours. I thought, go on, Lord of Time, save me. And it was, no, you've been going about 40 minutes. And I thought, balls. I hope you had a good one, though, mate. It won't happen again. Because I've now, my guilt won't let it happen again. Nice to know that Mouse Cat notices you when you fart, though. Those two. You know what? I tell you what, that's all they're doing out here. I took my pans to the shop, right? Check this out. I took my pans to the shop, my little my little heroin scales, and because they go to like 3 decimal points, and they've got like they've got these Mrs. Me in it. They've got these. It's got spirit levels in it so that you can adjust the bottom. It's got like screws on the 4 corners so you can get it all centered. So it's absolutely spot on. And this woman's putting this gold on her pans that's under the glass. And I said, can I have a look at it? And this Cambodian was like, yeah. She gives it to me. I get my pans out. No, she takes it back off me. Nah. Another shop, I went with my missus. I said, hang on, get those scales out. And she got her scales out. It weren't even in grams. And while she's yapping, I got my phone out. I said, yeah, but that's the gold price today. That's the spot price. Now, I know you've got to make a few quid, but if the spot price is X for a gram and you're trying to sell 3 grams for how much? And no, go. So, joking aside, you'll have trouble getting through customs with large amounts of gold, whether it's plate or not. But if you could get a couple of, dare I say, gypsy girlfriends, 9 massive hoop earrings, 30 necklaces, sovereign on every finger. And if customs give them any jip, they can just go, "What? You taking the piss out of our culture?" I got a mate who done about 18 months in a Pakistani prison smuggling gold across borders. The money to be made in smuggling gold is ridiculous because it costs different money in different countries, and so if you can get it across the border, if you like a kilo of gold bullion is about that big. It's about the size of an iPhone 7. A kilo. Now, I don't know what, I haven't traded in gold for years, but the kilo I bought was 30,000 long while ago. But there are some borders you can get that over, and you'll be able to sell it for 50,000, and you'll be able to sell it on the black market, so you're not paying any tax on that. Now, my mate, he got some got involved with some crew. Usual story. It's on Banged Up Abroad. Here, I'll show you him. It might take a while because it could be. I don't know if it's Banged Up Abroad or Locked Up Abroad. Yeah, it's this one. His name's Piers Ernu. He was the editor. Hang on. He was the editor of FHM. Not FHM. Something a lot lower quality. He turned up with Joe Guest into Jerry's once. I fucking had to duck out after the other experience. I thought, oh no, not again. Hang on, let me just work out if this is him. Yeah, this is the fella, Piers Ernu. Quite a cool bloke, actually. Quite a nice fella. What did he edit? Oh, it wasn't FHM. It was one of those. You remember when all those lads mags were about? People, hello, Jay. It's good to see you over there, repping the Twitch miniature. Hello, Skin and Tonic. Hello, Pags. Barney. Hello, Ludwig. Hello, Linda, darling. How are you, love? It weren't Maxim. It weren't Nuts. It weren't Loaded. It might have been Zoo. I've got a funny... It might have been Zoo. Let me just see. I'll just put his name into... I'll put his name in here. He's got a wiki. First thing that comes up is Banged Up Abroad. Here we go. There's Vartington. There's an article about anti-lads mag campaigns. Front. That was it. Front. I mean, yeah. But he was the editor of Front, and he made a few quid out of it. Alan says, "Okay, I got the joke. Right, here we go. So I got the joke. Then you said good luck with being a professor." And yeah, I know you feel to put your mum and dad through. Yeah, because you've also trodden a very similar path to me. There you go, Alan. All sorted. Sweet. Thank you for the donation, Alan. And thanks for getting all that sorted. It was getting all a bit confusing then, wasn't it? It wasn't Club International. I wish it was. I mean, imagine knowing the editor of Club International. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, you know this month's edition. Yeah, page 26. Can you give me her number? So, here, let's check a little bit of Piers talking about smuggling gold. Usual story, you're abroad, you run out of money, some bloke turns up with, like, glamour models on his arms. Hey, you want a champagne? No, it's easy life. Hey, why don't you smuggle gold for us? There's no problems. Yeah, we'll have a little look at him. They're all over the block your video for these, but we'll have a little look because he's quite a cool bloke, Piers, actually, I have to say. I met him at Jerry's nightclub. Here we go. Let me know you can hear it. That ain't him, by the way.
He wasn't a particularly likable character.
That's him
from the
talking.
start. He was quite a loud mouth.
Bottoms up, buddy.
Literally loud.
Yes, that is what I'm
And
talking about.
he's sort of boastful and whatever.
Take that,
and,
keep it changed, all right?
you know, not really my kind of guy. But slowly we got talking.
There he is.
And slowly it emerged that being a tour guide wasn't his only source of income.
So, you boys want to make some money?
Right?
If you want to make good money, boys, you got to get into the gold.
Right, we'll move it on to the exciting bit. Because basically what happens is, he says to him, look, if you can get money, I think they're smuggling it out of Pakistan or from Pakistan into Hong Kong. I can't remember the details. That would make more sense than the other way round. I'm thinking of the two economies. So they give him this waistcoat and they say, yeah, no, 5 kilos, 6 kilos, you know, get that over the border and you've doubled your money, pay our bit, blah, blah, blah. And like I say, an iPhone 7, that's a kilo of gold. Honestly, they're that big. They're not those lovely big bullions that you see in movies. Fuck knows what they are, like 50 key or something. Like 35 odd grand of gold is that much. When I bought mine, back when I was rich, I was expecting to get one of those cartoon ones, Kelly's Hero sort of jobby. And it was just this slither. I just remember another story about that gold bar. It's ridiculous. And my mate with the diamonds and the prostitute. No legs fell off. But of course, come the day of the now it's time. Oh, it wasn't 7 kilos. It was 28. So the idea of having a couple of gold bars on a waistcoat under your jacket, under your shirt, piece of piss. 28 kilos. Now think about it, people. What are you bench pressing? Can you imagine being in a hot country with 28 kilos of anything, carrying that around? The big bars are 400 ounce. Hang on, that ain't right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. No. 400. Oh, hang on. 400 ounce. So 36 ounces in a kilo. 1, 2. Oh, hang on. Can anyone do the maths? 400 divided by 36. 11 kilos. Yeah, that's about right. Because if you think of one of those, Liam, you stack up 5 and then 5 that way, you get one of those things. Yeah, that makes absolute sense. I'll give you that. Hello, Lulu. It's about 1,400 an ounce now. I daren't look at it. I mean, I didn't lose on my gold, but I didn't make much on it. It was a ridiculous buy. Yeah, the old Troy ounces. All gets a bit complicated, doesn't it? But it's nice and English, isn't it, to have Troy ounces and weird shit like that, and it all gets weird. Let's watch the bit where he finds out he's been absolutely done up like a kipper. You know, if I get yeeted, which I might, 4 minutes, I'll be back. Red pill seed reckons it's 12.4. Yeah, that's probably. I just divided 400 by 36. So that probably makes sense. Here we go. Let's have a check of this. Fucking hell. The amount of time, just looking at him there. Sorry, hang on. See that there, right? The amount of times I've been in an airport toilet. My novel opens in much that situation. In an airport toilet, looking in the mirror, thinking you're off your head. And it was interesting. Our pal said to me a while back, words to the effect of, he's here tonight. He said something to me like, I'm kind of envious of all the things you've done. And my answer to him was, I said, well, hang on a minute. Don't judge your insides by my outsides, because when I think of all those things, those stupid things I've got up to, they make good stories and I love them for that. But when I think of them, what I actually get is loss and lack, you know, and a real shattered sense of self. And here's a perfect example of that. I remember being in I stammered there because it's all coming back to me. I remember being in Koh Samui Airport with, what was it? It was just over a quarter, so about 9 grams of number 4 heroin, and that's enough for a death penalty in Thailand. It was for personal use, so it weren't like I was going to make any money out of it. It was just I wanted to get back to Patong and have my holiday there, not in Samui. I mean, I could have just stayed in Samui and used it there, but Patong is my spiritual home. I've got it in my mouth. Now you can't do anything. And I'm in the toilet, you know, getting rid of the sweat, and I've seen myself just like that shot there. And I remember thinking this, and this is really sad. I remember thinking, this is stupid. By the way, this was about the 3rd time I'd done it in the last 3 weeks, because I'd gone to Thailand to get clean, but I didn't get clean the first week. I fucked off to Koh Samui, bought a couple of grams, went back to Patong. When that run out, went back to Koh Samui, come back with some more. The 3rd time, I thought, I'm fucked if I'm toing and throwing. I thought, I'll tell you what, I've got 9 weeks here. I'll get enough for 4 weeks, and I'll start the rattle at week 5. You know, have a bit of an holiday before I go through hell. And I was in that toilet, and I looked at myself in the mirror, and I thought, if you get nicked with this, you could get the death penalty. Now, it's unlikely that I would, in fairness, because it's not really commercial. It's not like they've had a sting operation and they know my supplier and all that. This is clearly for personal use. 10 years, maybe 10 years, 6 years, something like that. And I remember saying to myself, not out loud, but I remember saying, well, hang on a minute before I'm not talking to you now. This is what I said to myself. I remember saying to myself, look, hang on a minute. Even if you did get caught, a few years in a Thai nick would be quite the experience, wouldn't it? You know, that would be quite the experience. That's really sad. That's really sad. Because it would be hell. And not only would it be hell, but that's 6 years I would have lost. And that was like my late 40s. You know, my 40s were my best decade. I was having the time of my life. And the thought of just, you know, having no self-respect or no value for myself. Now, even if you do get caught, you know, you'll go and withdraw and I tell you what, they're not nice places. The Bangkok Hilton, the Monkey House. You don't want to end up in there, especially not as a foreigner, especially not being able to speak Thai. Yeah, and I just thought, fuck it, I'll be all right. And the amount of times I nearly fucked it up because I was so out of my mind. I know a 20 Valium, that'll help me relax. No. I remember getting to customs once, and I thought, trying to look normal. I thought, I'll just check my pockets. You know, I wouldn't want to have a watch or something in my pockets. And as I tapped my right pocket, my pocket's full of something. I thought, what the fuck is that? I put my hand in there, pulled it out, everything in front of them. And it's a zip bag about that big with about 8 used needles, a spoon, a lot of filters, and just paraphernalia. Because I spent a mate and his girlfriend won a holiday in Koh Samui on a bag of crisps. It's really weird. And it happened to be the same time I was out in Patong getting clean. So when I was going up to Samui to score, I'd go and stay with them the night. Although by the last time I'd done it, I realised if I left Patong early enough, I could get up there and back in the same day. But I'd stay the night at their house, and my mate said to me, look, obviously you can use here, because they'd have a little bit on the sly. He'd say, but don't leave anything laying around. If my missus finds a needle, you're fucking dead. And more importantly, so am I. So every time I cooked up, well, I didn't cook up because it was white heroin, but every time I made a hit, I'd put it all in this bag. And I've got it in my hand. And she's there. She's there with her tray waiting for me to put my stuff in it. And I was sort of like, I got some nothing. And just sort of went and casually put it in a bin. I said, I'm sorry, darling. But and I know I've said this one, so a few of you know this, but when I went through, and I'm just sort of going, got through, bag went through, no problem. Got the little tray come through, put my bag on. As I'm walking away, sir, I just thought, keep walking. Sir, really angry. Sir, I just thought, no. And I got to start getting tunnel vision, like. I thought, fuck it, it's all this is it. This is it. You're about to get cuffed. And as I turned around, it was like, she went, you forgot your watch, sir. I was like, yeah, don't do things like that, people. It's fucking not worth it. So let's see what our boy Piers Ernoux, that's not him, that's an actor, but let's see what he goes through. I mean, I do like Banged Up Abroad, but it's better when you hear the actual people rather than the hello Billy. It's better when you hear the actual people rather than the reconstructions.
Ready?
It's on.
We didn't want to stand out like a sore thumb, but there were
The bit that I've just forwarded that you didn't see, he decided he didn't want to do it. He said, I ain't doing it. You told us 4 kilos. This is about 30. And it was 28 kilos. And the blokes who set it up with him were like, no, you're doing it. You don't get a choice at this stage. Now, let me tell you something. And I know this for a fact because I've been on the outskirts of this kind of operation. And I mean outskirts. I'm not trying to play Johnny Big Potatoes here. When a firm is moving a lot of drugs through national borders, they'll usually send a decoy and tip off the customs. So if they're going to get, say they've got a suitcase of like 500,000 Jack and Jills, right? 500,000 ecstasy. They'll get some mugs they've met in a club. Oi, do you want to smuggle 10,000 pills through customs and we'll give you $5,000? All right, that sounds right. Yeah, it's easy, no worries. And then they tip off security and they send them both at the same time, but like 10-minute lag. So when customs pounce the 5,000 pills, they're all on them. The police are on them. The security are on them. And old fucking 500,000 pills just strolls through. It's a. I've known I've known firms to do it with where they've sent 2 decoys so that they can get the big one through, because the value of these things over borders, national borders, is ridiculous. That's why if ever anyone tells you to do this, just don't do it, because you'll probably be a decoy. And well, I won't ruin the story, but maybe you've guessed.
we were the last people getting on, delaying everyone else, delaying even the takeoff of the plane, probably. Carrying 4 stone of gold is a lot easier when you're charged with adrenaline and you're therefore a lot stronger than you normally are. I have some vague recollection of Rhett saying that he felt that he was carrying even more than usual. And that was really the only indication that perhaps we were carrying right up to the maximum of what could possibly be taken by someone.
I mean, look at that. Look at that. Now, so between the four of them, they've got 112 kilos, $1.6 million. But they probably, the firm probably bought that for less than half of that. So, you know, they're making $800,000 in one go. And yet they're probably not, because they've got the actual parcels going to go through after them. Let's see the good bit.
So we're kind of sweating. When you add to the fact that we're obviously quite nervous as well, we're sweating quite a lot. But anyway, we go through, we queue up, and well, passports are fine, we hand over the money, and then we go through these big double doors into the customs hall. And it is bustling and noisy, and there are 4 gates, which consist of a table and somebody searching people's luggage. And suddenly Rhett stopped and looked puzzled, and I thought, what, you know, what's the problem here?
Okay, he's not there. Okay.
The problem was he'd been told to go through gate 4, but the usual guy who manned gate 4 wasn't there. It was a woman in a purple sari.
Right, and that is also absolutely believable, and I'll tell you why. When I went out to Venezuela, this was when Chavez was in power and he was spending everyone else's money, and it was quite a good time to be in Venezuela, actually, because that first bit of a communist revolution is, hey, everything's great, Chavez. Huge posters of Hugo Chavez, full combat gear. This is El Presidente. He's a political figure, the president, with a red beret on, a fucking scimitar, oxblood boots up to his knees on like the sides of buildings everywhere. People selling posters of him like that in traffic jams. You know, they go up to cars and people would be buying them. Mad time in Venezuela. And that was when you buy a rock of crack in Venezuela. When I went, I was about 31. So we're going back 19 years. What would cost you £20 in England? So 2 stones basically, would cost you 20p in Venezuela. And as a crackhead, that's quite tempting. And I've told you this, but if you buy 100 at one time, you get a free prostitute. And if you've smoked a lot of crack, the idea of a prostitute's great. The reality is, fuck off. What are you trying to steal from me? But we got right up out of our depth, because, you know, you start waking up and eating these rocks for breakfast, and that's when my mate said to me, do you fancy he talks like boy, do you fancy a strawberry Dakari, Dangerfield? I went, I've never had one. He went, you've never had a strawberry Dakari? 9 o'clock in the morning, gets on room service. Hello, have you got strawberry Dakari? Okay, can you send 30 up, please, to our room? Thank you. Fucking 2 blokes come in with these trays, 15 strawberry. And while the strawberry Dakaris, I know it's daiquiri, but that's what he called them, while they were sitting there, he went to me, while we're smoking these rocks, he went, ever fed a fly, Dangerfield? I went, no, never fed a fly. He's dipped his finger. There you go. Look, Johnny's been here before. Good. I do appreciate it when people do know these, but some people haven't heard it, Johnny. Ever fed a fly? And I was like, no, Johnny. I think this story's been told on this channel about 10 times. It's only short. He's dipped his finger in the daiquiri and just gone like that. And I shit you not, it took about 3 seconds. on his finger and his little proboscis going. I was like, no. Johnny, what happened? What happened when the prostitute come round and we run out of crack? If you can remember that, well, I'm not going to tell that bit now, but if you can remember that, that's a corker. But anyway, so after about 50 rocks, you're jangled, pouring those daiquiris down your throat just so that you can look at your mate in the face without going, no! And then we're going down the beach. And then you start talking to people. Now, this is a place called Margarita Island. It's on the northern tip of, it's not Venezuela, it's an island off, well, it is Venezuela, but it's an island off of it called Margarita Island. It's a cocaine port. That's all anyone's there for. It's just, that's what it is. And it was weird because we kind of couldn't work out why there was no one there having holiday. Everyone was dodgy as fuck. And, even we'd go to a bar on the beach and think, we'll have a right laugh here. And it is all like blokes in like white suits and sort of Ray-Ban sunglasses, sort of looking well shifty and not having a good time. And just me and my mate were sitting there singing Spaceman 3. I remember there's a song called Feel So Sad. And we were both sitting there going, oh, hang on, how's it go? Oh, God. I can't remember, but it's got this bit where we both go, go so slow, I feel so low, sweetheart. And then we both go really quiet. Oh, Lord, it's a sin. And I'd hold that, sin. And they'd go, to live my life suffering. And they'd hold that, ring. And then we'd both go, no one else is having a party. They're all businessmen. So by the end of that day, 100 Dakaris later, we're sitting down going, so we're thinking of moving some weights back to England. And the first bloke I said it to, I'll never forget, he went, I can't help you. I went, why not? He went, I said, hello, Nona. I said, why not? He said, I can't help you. I said, well, what do I have to say? He said, well, that's the problem. He said, you've already said too much. I thought, fucking hell, man, I'm well out of my depth. So next man in a suit on the beach, we played it a bit cooler, sat around chatting. Yeah, what do you do? And I was just like, mainly importing, commodities. Know what I mean? Commodities, high value, And we ended up talking to these people, and they were like, okay, right. So what are we talking? And then they were offering us. So like, let's say 20 years ago, it was 19, but let's say 20. So 2002 in England, in 2002, a kilo of cocaine in England was going to cost you 35 grand, but that's been stepped on once. So that's half a kilo of cocaine, and the other half is inositol. They were offering us pure, and you wash it up and test it, and you wash it up as crack so you can find out how much of it is cocaine based. And they were offering us that for 3,500 a kilo. So do the maths, 3.5 grand, get that to England, stamp on it, and you can sell it as 2 kilos, 70,000. So a profit of 66,000, roughly. 66,500. That's in 2 sales. Bosh. It's not like you're hanging around street corners with a mouthful of 10 bags. Bosh. And I could have easily got shot of that. People are crying out for the stuff. Especially if you're getting it at that price, you can undercut everyone. No, it's 29 grand, 28. Fucking just take it. I can't sleep. And they said to us, they said, this is the deal. This is the deal. We've got Venezuela sewed up. You know, we can get it through customs. That they're all paid off. They're on the firm. Don't worry about that lot. They're all on the payroll. We'll get it. We'll get on the plane with you, because the thing is, you can't. Once you've tested the product, this is only for entertainment purposes, by the way, Susan. Once you've tested the product this is what you do. You crack off a gram of cocaine hydrochloride, and you weigh a gram. And that's why you need those scales with the spirit levels and the adjustable wheels, because you want it spot on. Then you wash that up. So you take out the hydrochloride salt and you're left with the cocaine base. That's essentially crack, free base. And then you let that dry out and you weigh that. If that comes back at 0.8 grams, then you know that crack is 80%, that cocaine is 80% pure. Because after that makes sense. If you take a gram, wash it up, and it comes back at 0.5 grams, it's 50% pure. That won't give you the strength of it, though, weirdly. It will just tell you how much cocaine base is in it. But to get the strength of it, it's all right, yeah. But there's no point testing a parcel and then them fucking off and you fucking off and then meeting up the next day, because, well, you know, that's a different parcel. So you test it, and then you follow them in a car. You both get to the airport. They get on the same plane as you. And they said they've got Venezuela sewn up. Everyone's on the payroll. So stroll through there. And they said they'll get it into England. And then you just meet up in Dover somewhere and do the exchange. They take all the risk, everything. Because they just get some street crackhead to transport it. You know, expendable to them for the amount, you know, if you're going to buy, well, hang on, I'm about to ruin the story. But think about it. They can pay some street crackhead like $1,000. That'll keep him going for 2 years. So we're sort of there going, I'm looking at my mate, I've just doxed him, Boise, we call him. And I'm going, all right. And he's going, so how long would such a thing take to organise? And he was making money. He paid for the whole holiday. And there was this weird thing where I was thinking, hang on a minute. This is getting far too far involved now, because this bloke's now making phone calls. I've got some English businessmen I want you to meet. And I was thinking, who's that? Where? Oh, that's me. Hey, all right. And then he went, minimum 50 kilos. And I looked at Boise and I was like, have you got 180 grand knocking about? Or you're going to get it out of the ATM? And at that point, I was actually frightened. I remember thinking, how the fuck are we getting out of this? How are we getting out of this? And you know what I done? You know what I done? Can anyone guess what I said to him to get out of it? Here's the clue. I've already told you. Not at 20p a rock, Pizzle. Think about it. Maybe a couple of weeks. No, without a doubt, Vincent. I'm in no way glamorizing it. It was awful. I don't know if you were here for the start of the story when I said about what Pizzle said to me. And you know, this is all just madness. I did not say ever fed a fly. That's worth some points, though. That is worth some points. Based Gooner's going to get some points for that. I didn't see that coming. Oh, where's the bookmark for the scrubbed points? Oh, you're going to miss out on points for a lack of... Oh, here we go. Based Gooner. You knew round here. I don't. We've got a couple of Gooners here. Terrible game today, wasn't it? 500 points. Right. What other suggestions have we got? Hang on. What else have we got? I only deal in tons. No. Strychnine isn't blue. No. It's a mill deal. No. Can't get that much out of the ATM. No. No, of course not. There you go. Hello, Richard. Good to see you. There you go. Very good. Very good. No, no. Oh, come on. I already told you. Was anyone paying attention? What I said to him was, and I put, have you ever had a strawberry daiquiri? I said to him, I said after I offered him a prostitute. After consideration, I can't do business with you. And he went, what's the problem? I said, you've already said too much. And he took it. He absolutely took it. What that other fella said to me that morning. There you go. Come on, Johnny. Did you? I reckon you're right, because StreamYard is a bit far behind. I said, you've already said too much. I said, I've got how I work, and you don't know me from Adam, and I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Run off home. Quick. Let's get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I can't remember. No, it wasn't the same bloke, Dennis. Fuck's sake. Jesus. It was a different fella. Vart. That was a nice Vart. I think there's a couple. Nona dropped an entropy. Lovely. Cool, Nona. I'll drop that. I'll put that on the old... I can do it here. Bosh. Entropy donators get their moment in the sun too. Nona, new on the firm. Not new. Came to a couple of streams a while back. There you go, Nona. Nona. Thank you, Nona. That's very kind. So anyway, let's check out this very frightening bit where they've realised that their bloke on the payroll... tell me about it, Glenn. It pisses me off, though, because you can't celebrate goals anymore. I saw that foul, and I thought, if this goes in... Now, there you go. Not a problem, Base Gooner. Well, me, you, and Glenn, we can all, just think about it. It's Thursday and Sunday now. Next game, just ignore Twitter. Fucking hell, I couldn't believe those manure all over it. Wankers. It's like steady on 4-0, Brentford. Here we go.
This has worked every single time. I've done it 3-4 times. Been the same guy every single time, and it's not.
I blame you entirely. Fucking idiot.
I didn't twist your fucking arm. Get you to take the gold across, all right? You wanted the money. Shut up.
Right, what would you do, people? What would you do at this stage? You've got you and a couple of mates. One of them isn't a mate. One of them's the bloke that set it up. You've got 28 kilos of gold in like a specially made waistcoat under your shirt. You're at customs in a third world country, and suddenly the plan's gone tits. The person who's meant to be there isn't, and the fixer, the bloke that's organised it, has even told you. He hasn't kept it under his hat. He's outright said, "My man's not there." What do you do? Eat the gold, dump it, like go to the labs or something and just take the waistcoat off and just say fuck you. Honey Monster would risk it, just stroll through. Yeah, but think about it. I mean, it's only going to take a pat down or a metal detector. That's why you need someone on the firm. I don't know if does gold. My teeth don't come up on a metal detector. But, as soon as they touch you, hang on a minute, you've got ribs made of gold. Dong, dong. Yeah, Mousecat's dropping it in the lavs. And just on topic, Mrs. Mean, it says, have you seen the new condom pants for men? Are they some kind of monkeypox thing? Oh, God. Liz is dumping in the labs as well. So, hello, Charlie. What, Alan, as in dump it or go up to the security and say that cunt over there tried to get me to smuggle this? He's the arrest him. Put it in the cistern. There you go. Throw it past them and collect it on the way to the like sort of like just put the bars on the floor and boot them just and then point up. Oh, what's that? Boom. That's 1 kilo shot along. Baker would mess himself. Fake a heart attack. You've seen Drugstore Cowboy Planet X. There's plenty of that shizzle in that movie. Well, it's gold they're dealing. How much coke can you eat before you die? The bioavailability of eating cocaine is not a lot, but I don't know. It'll be different. Depends how much you weigh. Depends how much blood you've got in your body and things. But I'd imagine a quarter would probably kill you eating. But I'm guessing. Excuse me, sir. There you go. Foot Golf would say to the customs guy, "You've already said too much," and walk through. It's just a prank, bro. Point at the other guy and say, "You made me do it." This is what I'd do, and I've thought about it, which is why I asked. Now, I know you haven't had time to think about it, but what I'd do is I'd think, right, I've got 28 of these kilos on me. What is a kilo of gold to someone who works security at an airport? That's fucking 10 years' wages, isn't it? One of them. So I'd get a key or something sharp. I'd go back to the toilets or somewhere. I'd open the jacket. I'd get one of them bars out. And as I went up to that woman and with my passport, because remember, a kilo of gold is only so big. Hang on. And as I handed her my passport, I'd have that kilo of gold underneath it. And so when she took it, I'd just sort of... Because then this is the deal. She's either a kilo of gold up with no fuss, or, well, she saved the day. That's life-changing. That's absolutely life-changing. I reckon that's the only thing you're going to get away with at that stage. Because I think because we've skipped through it, I think they're well beyond the point of going back to the bogs. That's the bit when he was looking in the mirror, because that was the point of no return. Once they went past that bit, it was customs. And if you get as far as customs and go, oh, actually, I need to go back up there and through those non-reversible barriers because I suddenly need a massive shit. Anyway, let's have a look.
There was literally an awful, 3 or 4 minutes, it dragged on forever, whereby we were just sort of trying to look cool, but not moving, and therefore attracting more attention to ourselves whilst trying to have these conversations. Well, what are we going to do then? We can't just stand here.
What's the fucking deal?
And isn't it weird that as we're discussing this and debating it and having a bit of a laugh about it, old Piers here, this happened to him. He got nicked. He went to prison. I think he done about 18 months in some third world prison. I think it was Pakistan. I think we'll find out. But yeah, he actually done it. And he only got out because he had an uncle. Don't know if I should say this, but he's got an uncle who's part of, what would you say he is? He's got contacts in sort of ambassadorial circles. And in the end, after realizing he's screwed, he calls on him for a favor. and they eventually he gets them out, but you know that wasn't for certain.
And eventually,
Bunch of dickheads.
we looked over to the woman in the purple sari, and she could see that we were struggling, and she just sort of...
Four waves, what does that mean? Four waves, what does that mean? Do you know it?
Of course I don't fucking know. I know one guy. I told you, you got a better idea?
No, of course I've got a fucking better idea. It's not my idea.
If you don't have a better idea, then why don't you shut the fuck up?
Here we go. Me, Vincent, Johnny Rib Pillseed, and Denise Moniz.
Rhett was first, he put his bag down. Thank you very much.
Dropped his kids off at the pool.
Oz was next. I was last. Rather not have been last, but everything seemed to be going fine. Until suddenly, on the other side of the customs hall...
Terrifying.
There wasn't really a thought in my head at this point. I just sort of couldn't really take on board what was happening, but there was this little guy with a moustache. He grabbed Eric.
Fuck that. I mean, just fuck that. I remember, I've told you, I'm not going to go into the story again, but I told you when me and a mate got pulled over in a motor with 23 ounces of crack, not stashed in the car, just out of sight. So, you know, that bit up above the glove compartment, 4 ounce bags there, couple under here, just not a very superficial search of that car would find them. We've even got a crack pipe with a bit of like clear pipe so that the driver can put the pipe in his mouth and I can light the crack pipe down in between my knees while he's driving. He can just smoke crack. And we're also smoking bifters and chasing heroin. And because we're not feeling too clever, there's king-size Rizzlers and torn up cigarettes all just on the, you know, that, I don't even know what it's called, the bit between the window and the bits in the car with all the dials on, that bit. We're driving up, what it would be, the M4. Boom! I just thought, no. 23 ounces of crack. I've got about a quarter ounce of smack in my back pocket. There's foil with heroin on it just in between my feet. There's a quarter of hashish. I mean, against the 23 ounces of crack. What? A quarter of hash ain't much to worry about, in fairness, but it's another thing to add to the list. And we're being pulled over. This is happening, and it's fucking terrifying. And Alan, that's when you find God. No, that's when God finds you. And God did find me, Alan. Nice one on the donation, but God fucking did. Because I said I wasn't going to tell it. I'd give you the short version. Basically, me and the driver didn't even talk at this point. I remember rolling up the pipe that had the crack pipe on the end and just chucking it down that little thing in the door that you put stuff in. Yeah, step out of the car, please, sir. I'm like, hello. You know, I weighed about 60 kilos, 6'2", just a bone. Just one. And fuck no, that car must have smelled like an hospital. And the other geezer who had more stripes and a different sort of hat got the driver out, split us up. I've also got 15 grand on me in cash in used 10s and 5s. I'm on the dole. We get split up and the copper just starts tapping me, just nothing, just like, he says, just pretend I'm searching you. He said, you've got Rizzlers and roaches and Lord knows what on the dashboard. Is that what that's called, the dashboard? He said, I don't care about drugs. He said, I don't care about a bit of weed. And I was going, me neither, a bit of weed. Weed. He went, I can do without the paperwork, to be honest. He said, have you got any drugs in that car? I was like, He said, tell me. He said, I'll get shot of it. And I was thinking, well, he's either bullshitting me. I'm not going to tell him about the crack or the heroin, but maybe I'll tell him about the ash. If he is really on side, I mean, I'm in trouble anyway, but if he's on side, he'll do the search, he'll find the ash, he'll throw it, and he might just say, nah, they're all right, let them go. Get back, the other bloke's giving my mate a lot of mouth. We get put back together, and the other copper says to the one who talked to me, he said, search them two. He said, I'll search the car. And my whole world just collapsed. I was 29. I thought 23 ounces of crack. You're bye. That's the end of your youth in prison. I wouldn't do well in prison. And so the other copper said, have you got anything else on you? I said, no. And my mate's looking really confused. And I said, there's a quarter of hash in the ashtray. And that's where it was, really. And he said, you should have told me that earlier. I'd have got rid of it, like I said. So he's just turned around. Now, me, my mate, and the copper are watching the higher ranking officer, white moustache, proper arsehole. And he was an arsehole. But in fairness, we were breaking many laws and driving recklessly on. We weren't actually driving recklessly when they pulled us over, but you shouldn't really smoke crack and drive. I think that's fair. I think that's fair enough to say. Anyway, his first place he went was the ashtray, and I thought, oh no, that's enough, isn't it? That's enough to bring the dogs in. He got his pen out of his pocket, and he's moving it around the ashtray. Now, I'm only about a foot away from the car. I can see this it's about 6 grams, just a soap bar, just bouncing around amongst all the ash in there. He's like looking in there. I was thinking, mate, it's that lump of drugs that you're looking. That lump of drug you're looking for is right at the end of your pen that you're just pushing around the ashtray. Then he's picked up the rubber mat on the driver's side, and I thought, no, because I put my silver foil with the smack on it and the flutes all under the rubber mat on the passenger side. And remember, there's 23 ounces of crack, not even cocaine, crack in there. And I thought, so he's doing the rubber mat on the driver's side, and it was, I'm sorry to say, but trust me, vartation must occur. It was like a movie. His hand went dun 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 over to that passenger mat, and I was going, and like, I mean, my life didn't flash before my eyes, which was handy because it wasn't great the first time. But I just started thinking about prison and telling my girlfriend and my mum and everyone else and me. And go and all, you know, this is really bad. And it was all suddenly. It managed to just about get through all that crack and heroin and hashish, and actually open my brain up and go, hey, no, you fucked it this time. You ain't landing on your feet this time. You fucked it. You're in so much trouble. And it went, and he got out of the car. Now, I'm still thinking, well, hang on a minute. Hang on. You know, we're not off the hook. But he got out of the car. And he walked away from the car, and it was like, and he was going, he was talking back to him, couldn't hear what he was saying. He marched back over, ex-military, and he went, right. He went, we do not tolerate drugs in our district, or I can't remember, county or something he said. In our county, he said, and you have got torn cigarette papers on the dashboard. Is it called a dashboard? Can someone just confirm that? And he went, and I think one of you is concealing drugs, and I think it's you. He said to me that I've got a quarter ounce of smack in my back pocket. I've got a car full of crack. I've got 15 grand in my inside pocket. And how do you answer that? well, wouldn't you like to know? So I was just sort of like, and he said, but we've got an important call to go to. And I was just like, I didn't show it, but I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. We've got an important call to go to. He said, but if we find you again, he said, we will conduct a thorough search. And I was like, okay, that's totally understandable, officer. My mate said, thank you. He went, thank you. And I just, what? Fuck off, thank you. Cheers. And they got back in their car, and we got in our car, and they were in front of us because they'd done the things, and they pulled down and pulled it in front of us. They drove off, and I said to my mate, I said, what did you do with your smack? He went, I was still in my pocket. He said, I haven't thrown that away, am I? He said, where's yours then? I went, well, it's still in my pocket. And I said, wait for them to go then. And he went, yeah, I will. And they drove off. We just got the pipe out. Fucking absurd. When we got to my mother's house, the driver, we were so fucked. When we got to my mate's house, the driver come in, and my mum knew him because like he was a mate, and he got in like that, and he was like just brain dead. And she went, "Good Lord, John," that weren't his name. She went, "Good Lord, John, you look like you need a sleep." He went, "No, it's all right. I had it driving up here." I just was like, don't. But yeah, but that was kind of like what this little turnout was. The moment when it comes on top, it's fucking terrifying. Here we go.
My worst fears are kind of being realised. He gets out a metal detector and it goes off with a noise like a car alarm.
Oh, look at his face. Look at him remembering the pain.
Hey, you! Come over here!
Me?
I had to walk towards him. But, I thought, well, what can I do? He just pushed us both in the direction of this room to the side of the customs hall. And just like ashen-faced in total shock, we went into this room and there was just bedlam there.
Here you go. I'll show you where they ended up, and we'll call that one a day on that video, but it ain't a very nice place. Yeah, this is... I mean, I doubt this is the actual nick, but I mean, you get the idea. I can't imagine there's much
drug addicts,
difference.
The whole range of criminality was there. Life in prison in Kathmandu was very frightening. We didn't know whether there would be violence, whether...
There you go, Kathmandu. I know it had something to do with Tibet there.
There would be sexual violence. It was a prison that just had everything from murderers and child molesters and rapists, thieves, drug addicts. The whole range of criminality was there.
Gold smugglers.
On the first or second day, I was introduced to the only other white guy in prison. He looked simply quite extraordinary. He looked like some sort of wizard from another century. And he talked in riddles. He talked in total gibberish.
That's me after I said it would be quite an experience to be in a foreign nick for a few years.
I discovered that he had been a gold smuggler, had been in for nearly 4 years, and had gone mad. This was particularly frightening because my greatest fear now was, I don't know, depression or being cut off from your friends and family. You don't know where that's going to take you mentally. And it seemed to me that here was potentially the future of me. Just
fucking terrible. Fucking terrible. Terrible stuff. Packer says, I got waved into a pub car park by a cop. 5 of them stripped my car, seats out, the lot. They found nothing, arrested me anyway, held me for hours and let me go. Keep me busy. And they getting the numbers up. That's another search, isn't it? That's another search. There you go. Very busy, looking after the people. Ridiculous. I mean, well, you know, I deserve to get pulled over and arrested and sent to prison. Let's be honest. But what was their reason? I mean, most of you won't know this, but I know a lot of people around here have delved into the darker side of life. But the police can search you for the most tenuous and spurious of themes of reasonable suspicion. Now that can fuck them up in court, and I know of stories where it has, but that is a valid reason why the old bill can stop and search you. Reasonable suspicion, you know. So that's anything. They can just say, he was acting very strange, my lad. And I had, after 10 years in the job, I had reasonable suspicion that he was a danger to the old woman he was walking 6 meters behind. I thought he might have stabbed her or something, Your Honour. Turned out he was smoking a jazz cigarette. Nice one for the donation packer. There's another one down here. It is called the dashboard. Thank you, people. Stephen Campbell, Ayrton Senna, props to you. If there was ever a time when you needed to make use of that stuff, it was 5 minutes after. Yeah. And also, I did lie then. We didn't hit the crack pipe. We actually hit the dark. We got on the sedative because, that was the first thing we done. Take the edge off, man. I don't need stimulating at the moment. My head's going 1,000 to the dozen. Good call, Stephen. Thank you, mate. I do not bend to power, said a lad who I worked with got nabbed with 10 million of chabs. What's chabs? What's that, cocaine? Last year on the motorway. 10 million? What, street value? 10 million in kilos is fucking... Well, let's work it out. 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... divided by 6. That's 277 kilos. So I'm thinking it was street value. They always do that though, the gathers, don't they? Because street value, you get a kilo of cocaine, you know, you chop it up, step on it, and sell it in fucking £10 rocks. A kilo is going to be worth about $500,000. So they can say $500,000 when actually it's 35 grand. So yeah, it's ridiculous. And I can't remember whether it was Stanhope or Bill Burr, but he said whenever they do a speed bust, it's always in weight, not value. I put it into one of my stories because a kilo of speed is worth about 300 quid. 5 kilos of speed. If it was cocaine, it's always weight. 10 kilos of cocaine. But with speed, 400 quid's worth of speed was found. Mrs. Me in it, still on the condom pants. See, I do take note, Mrs. Me in it. I'm not quite sure why. Right, it's gone 4 o'clock in the morning. I've got some clips I was going to show you. I was going to tell you a load of stuff about that. I can't now. I've got to get some sleep. What am I going to show you? Not that. We had that. All right, close that. Yes, I would like to save those settings. Right, I've got something here, I think, that we can wrap up with. I've done nearly 2.5 hours. I always promised myself to work on my fucking novel again tonight. Lord. What? I've got something in here that I was going to show you the other day, but I think it might be a bit dodgy with the old strike lingering. I think we can get away with this. It's very short. Just check this out from the World Economic Forum. Anglo's just turned up. Mate, how are you, son? I'm just about to do the off. Nice to see you, though. Always a pleasure. It's been a good stream, actually. It might be worth watching it from the top. It's been a bit of a story bonanza of the dark side of life. Hope you're well, son. Thanks for the donation. So we were talking about the World Economic Forum the other day. Don't forget that website. What the fuck? So WTF, what the fuck happened in 1971? That was the establishment of the first party of Davos, the World Economic Forum. And it's just a list of graphs how the economic functioning of the globe radically changed direction. So, you know, when people talk about the World Economic Forum and what it's going to do to the world, it's already done it. It's already done a lot of it. There's plenty more they can do and are and will, for sure. But check this little clip. It's a shocker. Let me get rid of that banner so that you can read the subtitles. It's only short, but it's very unpleasant. Weird. What? I don't know why that ain't playing. It would appear to not want to play.
We met in January of 19 in California and set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them was by 2023, we will reduce the number of people in the world that cannot afford our medicines by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming reality.
And again, I think
Yeah, let's listen to that again. And I mean, this is why I don't go through all this things going on behind closed doors. These people are happy to talk about this stuff in public. I mean, can you believe what he just said? You know, it's madness that the leftards support this shit. He just said that they're going to reduce the population of the world, namely the people that can't afford their medicines, by 50% by 2023. And he says, I think we've achieved that. Fucking hell, man, they're hacking me.
We met in January of 19 in California and set up the goals for the next 5 years. And one of them was by 2023, we will reduce the number of people in the world that cannot afford our medicines by 50%. I think today this dream is becoming reality.
Now, have I got that out of context? I've just thought, is he suggesting that they've made it so that people can afford their medicines, which is equally frightening? I'm not. That doesn't let them off the hook. That's equally sinister. But I've suddenly thought that's been framed in a way, because there was a bit more before it and a bit more after it where they interpreted it for me. But now cutting that bit out makes me realize that they probably mean that more people can afford their medicines, which is more sinister, actually, because how do you do that? How do you give those people that money? Because, you know, that you give them other people's money. That's what you do. You move them from countries where they can't earn that money to countries where they can earn that money, and then they can afford the medicines. They're a dodgy bunch, man. They're a very, very dodgy bunch. Yeah, if you weren't on this stream when I showed it, please check it out. It's easy to remember. What the fuck happened in 1971? But it's WTF. So it's a play on WEF. WTF happened in 1971. About 100 graphs, and they pinpoint 1971 in all of them. And one of them I put on my Telegram. It's like 1971. Men's wages were just on a sort of standard kind of climb along with inflation. 1971, men's wages just started going down. In 1971, women's wages carried up with inflation. Oh, the old pay gap there. The old pay gap causing us problems. Shocking stuff. Absolutely shocking. Pizzle, are you still here? Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it, Pax Max? It is an odd little turn of phrase. Burp pauser. Pizzle is still here. Right, people, I'm off ski. If you are new here, I am a writer. I do have a Substack. Link in the description. There's 20 stories already there. If you enjoyed my stories tonight, you'll enjoy those. And I've got a novel hopefully coming out. I've added hopefully. Notice that. Vartation has occurred in November. So if you sign up, you've only got to put your email in. Any new ones I write will go straight to your email. And I might put a new one out tonight. It's a bit late, actually. I'll do it tomorrow. But it's another teaser from a novel. There's already one on there. So get on my Substack. And also, I'm going to be making a lot more videos like I made that Sargon one. So maybe consider my subscribe star. It's like Patreon, but I left Patreon because I didn't agree with their banning people for things they said. My subscribe star's got about 6 supporters, and bless you all. Like you don't get enough thanks. But £1 a month would be nice. Think about that. The grift is on and it's strong. Proper big good one. But yeah, if you are new here, go check that out. I've enjoyed tonight. I hope you've enjoyed tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. I'll be putting a couple of videos out this week and hopefully streaming every day. This is Milk. I dedicate this to my man, our pal. And Stephen Campbell drops in another £5. We already know which population they wish to reduce and how they wish to reduce it. Anything conflicting with that is out of context. I think I've got a fair idea. Yeah, I'm staying sort of neutral around some of these things for a while. Well, forever, because it's too. It's not the place to talk about it anymore, and you can get away with things I can't. But any population being treated like that by what is essentially an elitist corporate organization is having the piss taken out of it. It doesn't, it does matter who it is, of course, because you might be in that group, but in a basic moral, from a basic moral position, these people should not have the ability to do that, and they outright have. Shocking. I want to thank Rags and Steve Cray for looking after the place. I want to thank Rags for help with the clips. I want to apologise to Rags and 42 for the stream cucking tonight. That won't happen again on a Sunday. And the milk is dedicated to our pal, because he's a good lad. Look after yourselves, people. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you to everyone who donated. It's really appreciated more than ever in these hard times, Squire. Ta-ta! Come on, you milky bastard. Hit it. Thank you for that last one, Stephen. Sorry, mate, I don't get to see him on Super Chat. Packer, 1 year member, Packer. One in the chat for Packer, please, people. One in the chat. Yeah, I'll stick my one in right now. Nice one, Packer. Much appreciated, mate. Sweet.
Bad lies, bang bangs about us. Be up, be younger, get to serve now life. The alleyway laughs at time and half. Time and half. Splash, you can't come down now. You wouldn't want to spy. Secret immediate amoeba, hilarious sheen means the sun starts whining, whining. Thatched roofs, the holes of many spiders, smile so wide we look inside her. The need for me. The need for me. The arch bends bows, pull strings, pulling things to mark time, arbitrary
November.
sublime.
Have a look at the SUBSTAck, Southern Girl.
Sleep now, dear bees above the historical rub, this newfound embalming.
Link in the description.
Gold. This winter shade of hazy off brown knackers me. A girl I once knew nothing. A rupture suggests we better be as nothing so less than outburst in slow devotion. Slow devotion. As old rock dissolves, a shining example of love, and the need for milk. The need for milk. The need for milk.
No, it ain't. Life's great. It's always been a fight and a struggle for resources, but don't let that wreck your life. You only get one. Life's fantastic.
Nothing but the need for milk. The need for milk.
Good Lord, missed Allen's as well, and Packer's other one. Oh, that's why Packer got searched. His ex and her old man grasped them up. Fucking hell. Nice on Picard. And that is seems like an appropriate place to end things. No. Don't let it do that to you. Because if you let it do that to you, they've won already. And we haven't even really started the fight. So stay cool. Look after yourselves, people. Hoita!